Welcome back to the Ultimate Seattle Sports Show. Our pleasure to have Kate Preusser from Lookout Landing on the show. And Kate,
already throwing jabs at me in the break.
Well, this is what we love about Kate. I mean, the people watching may not know the relationships the media have. We have fun. We're kind of a fun group.
Right.
First thing you're ready taking a shot at Ariel.
Canadian tuxedo. I mean, with the Blue Jays coming to town, Ariel.
Great point.
Okay,
Great point.
Let me have my word.
What are you going to be wearing? You're going to wear Bosnian colors tomorrow?
Ooh. Hold on. So our director, Alex, is a proud Canadian man and made sure we knew that tomorrow is Canada Day, and I won't be on the show tomorrow. So this is just me saying thank you to Alex.
Okay.
Thank you for being a Canadian.
And what do you think of the Canadian tie? I don't know if I would ever do it. I'm going to be honest with you.
It's a lot of denim. It's a lot. It's a lot of denim there.
But Ariel
can pull.
Ariel has fashion sense.
Ariel can pull anything off.
Yeah.
It really needs a denim pocket square, and then I feel like we would be just
really on.
Just wait a minute. I gave this picture to Dusty, our producer, and I believe that he'll have it. Look at this. So that's the best Canadian tuxedo I've ever had. The Brittany Justin iconic look.
Iconic.
How many years ago was that?
That was 2015. That was 11 years ago.
Wow, just a kid.
And
she was 8.
I was in middle school, and my wife made those entire outfits. By the way, look at that hat. That is like we just went to the thrift
Meanwhile,
store.
Bob and Ballard I thought they were going to talk some Mariners baseball here today. So,
no, 10 minutes on Canadian tuxedo.
Give us the program, Bob.
Bob, we're talking fashion today. All right, Kate, we will talk Mariners for Bob and the other Mariner fans. It's been a roller coaster season. We can't hide that. 86 games of the season. You've been there for most of the post games with Dan Wilson and the players. Nice win last night. Just overall thoughts, though. Paint a picture on the overall thoughts on the season so far.
Yeah, it's just been really inconsistent. Yeah. And, you know, with what we thought we were going to see out of this team was they assembled one of the best off seasons that I think that they have as long as we've been following the Mariners. They did what they needed to do. They went out, they got Brendan Donovan, they signed Josh Naylor to that extension. It all looked on paper
perfect.
Yes. And then, of course, you can never predict injuries. Yeah. And I think that's been the driving story of the 2026 Mariners is they just have not been able to find any consistency because of these injuries.
And Cal Raleigh's a perfect example of that because obviously he had his injuries. We don't know if it was the injury that caused the inconsistency in the beginning of the year or vice versa. But if you would have said before the season that Cole Young would have more home runs than Cal Raleigh on June 30th, people would think you're crazy, right? Like, what are you seeing from Cal?
I mean, not me because I've been on the Cole Young train since spring training.
Yes, you have.
But no, I don't think anyone would have predicted that. And you know, you wonder how much of it is inconsistency, how much of it is just the WBC and that weirdness and not. You didn't really have a cohesive team this spring either because they were missing I can't explain what it was like to be there because I got there right when people had left.
We basically tagged off.
Exactly. You left. We were ships passing, beautiful ships passing in the night. But you left, and then everyone else left, and then I was there, and it was like the sort of AAA kids and
everyone was not
prospects.
In the WBC.
It was really fun, but it wasn't anything I think that I've seen in previous years where everyone is all together. And Cal, you just cannot underestimate how much Cal is that heartbeat of the team. It's not just his place offensively, but it's also, I think you saw the pitching staff struggle without him too.
And we see that, and you've been down there to spring training. I mean, he's the first one there, first one out on the field, last one off the field. I mean, you could say he is the heartbeat of this team, and they need him.
And he plays a different role too. Like, not only does he sort of mediate between the pitchers, the lineup, but he also is the person who talks to Dan. Yeah. He's the person who talks to the front office. He has that relationship. He has that investment in the team. So he's kind of the central communicator as well. So without him around, they felt very rudderless during that time. And it was hard for him, too. This was a huge challenge for Cal as well. He's never been on the IL. His whole thing is the best ability is availability.
Absolutely.
And his toughness, and we know that he's played through a lot of pain through the years. You mentioned Cole Young. You go to lookoutlanding.com. You're going to see all these great stories about Cole Young.
That is true.
Cole and Colt, they turned 3 double plays last night. I mean, they look good. Cole with 2 home runs. I mean, future's looking bright up the middle with this team, isn't it?
Combined age of the infield, the middle infield, is 8 years younger than Jamie Moyer was when he pitched his last season.
Wow.
So add Cole and Colt together, and you still don't get one.
Are you impressed that how young they are and what they're doing at this level?
You know, honestly, no, just because I have followed both of them so long in the minors, and the work that the Mariners scouting department does, I think, is so impressive in the way that they scout the player and the person. And both of these guys, Cole and Colt, they're different personalities. Cole is more like, he's quieter a little. He's kind of more even keel. Colt is very intense. He has that. It reminds me a little of Jared Kelenic, that like just hunger to win, that competitive fire. But he is able to channel that much more productively, I think, than Kelenic was.
I think Mariner fans like to hear that.
Yeah. People don't love that. They do not love that comparison when it comes out.
But it makes sense, the competitive, like, let's go win now.
Having spent time around both of them, they absolutely are cut from the same cloth as far as competition goes. But Colt really understands how to be a leader. He understands how to pour back into his teammates. I'm not surprised at all by what I've seen from either of them.
And not an easy situation to come in there, too, when you have J.P. Crawford talking to the media that I'm willing to go to third base. And let's be honest, J.P. Crawford is a future Mariners Hall of Famer, and you're this young 20-year-old, and you're not trying to take a spot, but you're kind of being pushed into that spot. So I think he's handled it absolutely amazing with that.
Right, and J.P. deserves all the credit in the world for that, too. And it's smart, honestly, as well, is if he wants a future with this team, if he wants to extend beyond this current contract, it will be at third base. So the more that he can kind of show that he can handle that position, and I think that it's fine. JP's problem defensively has been a declining range. And so if you put a very rangy shortstop, which Colt is, next to him, then those two can really work in tandem on that left side.
Kind of cover the gaps a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we started obviously talking this show about injuries. So let's kind of get into the news of the week with Rob Refsnyder going to the IL. I think that was a little late, but finally there. Matt Brash, Cooper Criswell will get MRIs on July 6th. Still no timetable on Donovan. What do you make of all of this?
I think there's a lot of frustration that I've seen from the fan base about why Refsnyder is only now going on the IL. Like, obviously, he hasn't been producing all year. And the explanation that Justin Hollander gave yesterday was that his knees are knees, plural, not just the one knee.
2 knees.
2 knees. Apparently, we have 2 of them. Who knew? But both the knees are not providing a stable enough base for him to be able to
find consistency, right? Is what he said. Yeah, I mean, like at the plate, like they said, like that he can't replicate anytime he makes a step forward, that he can't replicate it because he doesn't have the strength in his legs. He doesn't have the solid
base. Everything in baseball comes from your base. Everything comes from.
It's all about that base.
It's all about that base.
And to your opening point,
we are throwing it back to 2015.
Look at you two. And to your opening point. Baseball is a very stat-driven game, and you could look at Rob Refsnyder's stats against left-handed pitching where the Mariners needed to improve, and you'd be like, okay, we're helping our cause here. It just didn't work out, and obviously the knee injuries hasn't helped his cause at all.
Yes, it looked like a square peg in a square hole. It was like, this makes so much sense, but unfortunately, he just didn't. And I will say, as somebody who has... If you are in your 30s, you know what 30-year-old knees, 35-year-old knees feel like, right? Doesn't always feel great. I
creak.
Yes, it's very creaky down there. But I don't think anyone anticipated just how quickly the drop-off would come. And T-Mobile is a challenging environment to hit at. It's challenging, and we've seen other free agent hitters come in and be frustrated with it. And unfortunately, it's just it's all kind of going this one way, and they've given him so much time to figure it out. they just can't anymore.
We wouldn't have you on the show if we didn't bring it up. And I know there's some Mariners are going to be like, come on, Egan, do we have to keep bringing this up? I mean, we've got hot dogs from heaven, we got tarps off, and we got piggyback. Let's talk pitching. George Curry, best start of the season. Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller, they've been solid. Emerson Hancock has been sharp. Luis Castillo has pitched solid in 5 of his last 6 games. Brian Wu, unhittable at home. Different story on the road. We know where we stand. All right, where do you stand on a 6-man rotation?
Currently, it's sort of a necessary evil, but it is unfortunately really hamstringing their bullpen. And with the injuries to the bullpen, that has doubled up on causing some problems.
Yeah. So keep it after the All-Star break?
I don't know what can you do about it. You have to commit to making one of them a full-time bullpen arm, which who are you going to pull? Castillo, probably. But then that's your longest tenured guy. That's the leader of your pitching staff. That's
making a heck of a lot of money to go to the bullpen.
Right. And last year, Luis Castillo was the rock of that rotation. Yeah. He was the healthy one. Are you really going to depend on Bryce Miller and the elbow injuries he's had? Brian Wu has had issues with staying healthy. Logan Gilbert, I feel like, has really been searching for consistency this whole season. We've seen him lately. I'm really hoping he's turned a corner, but it's been a struggle. All of them are kind of individually on their own journeys this year.
And we said it yesterday on the show. You know, we can talk about this piggyback all you want. The pitching's good. In the end, you got to score runs. You got to score more than 2.5 runs a game.